And I think everybody probably got my list here, except Sherry probably didn't get my list. And this probably won't take us very long. I think everybody has a pretty good understanding of the next topic, which, if I can get rid of this thing here, is. Uh, can let's see, how did I word it? Mass are is against my religion. Mass are against my religion. Do we think so, or do we just leave that alone and leave our God out of having to wear masks, or what do we do? I don't know if you guys read over these scriptures, but I'm going to run over them. There's only like 5, 6 here in Genesis 1:26. Generally, let me scan over them. Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, in the likeness of ourselves." And God created humankind in His image, and so humans are created in God's image. Our image reflects the image of God. In 1 Corinthians 6:19, it says, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. No one, not even I, have authority over my body except God." Genesis 3:21, Adonai God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. God made clothing for mankind, but did not cover their faces. In Colossians 1:15, He, Yeshua, is the visible image of the invisible God, is the visible image of the invisible God. He is supreme over all creation. Not much to say to that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. 1 Corinthians 15:49, and just as we have borne the image of the man of dust, so also we bear the image of the man from heaven. The man from dust being Adam, and the man from heaven being Yeshua. We bear his image. Why would we cover any part of it up? 2 Corinthians 3:18. So all of us, with faces unveiled, see as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, and we are being changed, reborn into His very image, from one degree of glory to the next by Adonai the Spirit. Matthew 17:2. As they watched, He, Yeshua, began to change form. His face shone like the sun, and His clothing became as white as light. Our faces all are also a reflection of God's glory. How would they ever know? How would they have ever known this if Yeshua's face had a mask on it? Many cultures and religions have protocols, distinct rules regarding facial coverings, veils, and masks. I love my culture and religion, which does not require, but is in fact against face coverings. I do not want me or my wife misidentified as being from another culture or religion. Bottom line is, I hold distinct religious convictions that prevent me from wearing a mask. And this is how I feel about it. I really do. These scriptures are from a couple of different sources, but as I thought about it, I kind of put this together and thought, what about this? I mean, how do you all feel about this? And so, Sherry, let's start with you. Do you want to start? Do you not want to start? Do you want to wait? Let somebody else go?
Well, I'm just kind of,
do we make a deal about it or not?
Yeah, and like I said earlier, when I was talking to that guy that was a Wiccan, it was good I had a face mask on because I was praying in tongues real hard underneath my face mask. No, I'm just playing, but well, I was, but I mean, I'm not. One thing people don't understand about the face mask is that it does not protect you. It protects other people.
Yeah.
It does not protect the person wearing the mask. So I've had a couple of friends come up had people come up, you're not wearing a mask, you're gonna die. My friend looked at him and says, don't bet on it. So but I think it is a control thing by the government. Mask has not been shown to be very effective against what's going on, in my opinion. This is my opinion, not Messianic Lamb. And, your face is very significant and identifiable. It's what's the word? Not significant to you, but like you'll recognize somebody's face before you'll remember their name. And so that has a lot to do with it.
I want him to recognize me as a man of God, though, and not be identified along with everybody else.
Exactly.
And that's my point.
How can you smile at somebody? How can you, we have a lot of facial features that we greet people with. And people can tell when you are full of the joy of the Lord simply by your face beams, so they can't see that when it's covered up, and the enemy wants to cover us up anyway. So if I hadn't told you recently, Mark, I hate him, but I hate him, and I think this is kind of like out of the pit of hell myself. But excuse me, I should have said HE double hockey sticks. But anyway. I do. I think it's, I don't agree with it. And I'm with you. I think it's but I know a lot of people, not mentioning names, wear it. And then later on, you'll see them in the store with it like under here, like a beard. Yeah,
we understand. We understand all the points of the mask. I'm just wondering, it's like, being the image of God, I don't want that covered up for that reason, and I mean, for all the other reasons, we understand all that. And I think most of us are pretty much on the same boat there. But what about you, Milena? What do you think? We've heard from Daryl on his points of view on the mask, though I want to hear this from this area. But what about you, Milena? What do you think on this? Am I taking it too far by even coming up with scriptures against it?
Well, I don't know if it's so much a spiritual thing to how you feel or what you think about masks, but it's definitely a loss of identity. It definitely is. So I agree on that point that our image is being taken away by wearing those covers because, like Sherry said, there's no protection there, really. And I mean, I have been kind of reading up on that, thinking about, because they're saying now, well, surgeons wear masks and so forth, but surgeons say, is that Bob? Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
We heard about you today.
He has money.
Yeah. Anyway, but surgeons say, yes, we do wear masks and we have to wear them for hours and so forth. But you have to remember that we wear special masks that, protect the body or whatever the person we're working on. And so, but you have to remember that we only wear them for a specific time. And then we change, like they change masks and so forth. What we're doing with masks now is they've been worn for a long time and, people don't really wash their masks and so forth. So this whole mask thing is, I think it is an identity. I just look around at me and people and I just see these eyes and there's no expressions. And like Sherry said, I don't even, it's almost like I'm looking at zombies now. It's just.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. I hadn't thought of it like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
but just having this mask changes this. And I think there's also a psychological, I mean, for children, I know my son, like when he looks around, I think it creates more mental blockage, you know, the mask, than it really helps anyone. And I definitely think the biggest thing is the identity thing. Is it against my religion? Well, the only reason masks are against my religion is when I have to submit to requirements that you know, that I'm asked to submit to government over God, you know, and
Interesting.
And to me the biggest issue is, you know, the whole thing of not being able to sing now, and you know, when you gather with one another, you see, it starts with masks, and then the regulations keep on going and going until you get to the point where, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know, and it totally it starts impeding on your religious rights. Absolutely. Because we've been listening to pastors who have been trying to obey the government, but sometimes people who are against churches gathering, they will report them for no good reasons, will have false reports. I mean, it's the mask itself, it's a symbol of something that's going on, the undercurrent in the background that's going on. And I agree, Mark. I don't think it's of God for us to wear masks and to be hiding our identities. Mm-hmm. And all these religions that do wear masks, that wear face coverings and so forth, that is a robbery of their freedom. That absolutely is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what the mask is for me.
True. Very true. Very, very good. Leonard, what do you think, brother? Am I taking it too far? Is it could this be an issue for even somebody else? It kind of is with me. So, you know, I like my identity with the Lord.
Let me start out by saying, if I end up wearing a mask, I will feel like that is a personal failure. So far, I have not worn one, and drove around for 2 hours last night trying to find a place that had the outside seating that we could go sit down so we didn't have to deal with it. One place had outside seating, but you had to walk through the restaurant, and they told us, yeah, sure, come on in. We got all the way out back and sat down. We had menus in front of us and our chips and salsa, and then the manager came up and said, you didn't walk in with a mask, we can't serve you. So we had to walk all the way back through the restaurant. And so I think the whole thing is ridiculous. That said, I'm concerned with where you're going on this, and I'm going to offer a rebuttal just for the sake of building the argument, not because I believe in the rebuttal.
Sure, that's what this is all about. I'm here to learn.
In Exodus chapter 34, verse 29, when Moshe came down from Mount Sinai with 2 tablets of the testimony in his hand, he didn't realize the skin of his face was sending out rays of light as a result of his talking with Adonai. Okay, I'll go ahead and fast forward through this. He ends up putting on a veil to protect Israel from the glory that's shining forth because it terrifies them.
That was actually on my list of scriptures, and I took it off.
Well, here's the thing. I don't believe in the narrative that we're being force-fed. But the narrative we're being force-fed is they want us to wear a mask to protect others. We have a biblical precedence that Moshe wore a mask to protect Israel. And so I'm concerned with that biblical precedence there. saying wearing a mask is against my religion, because the naysayer could say, well,
Right.
no, actually, it's actually in support of it for the very same reason that we're trying to get you to wear one. I went to a meeting here a few weeks ago, and there was a statistician there, there was a microbiologist, there was a child welfare worker there, and they're sharing information. I was hopeful that this meeting was going to be teaching us what we can do as individuals to reverse this nonsense. But it was more about waking everybody up to how big the nonsense was. The consequences to our reaction to COVID, I'm going to admit I'm grabbing this number out of a hat here. If I had the time, I'd sit down and actually chart it. But I would say the consequences to our reaction to COVID are 4 to 5 times more dangerous than COVID itself. And where on earth does it stop?
Right.
I'll also mention my battery's about dead, so if I lose you, it's been a blessing to be back. If you let me.
Go ahead.
Well, that's really, I think we need to go back to arguing the facts. We're being fed a false narrative that can be proven false, but the brainwashing is so deep and so successful that it's near impossible to share facts with anyone. And people are truly scared. I don't think there's reason for them to be scared, but that doesn't change the fact that they are truly scared. And how do we deal with that? I don't know. But I answer my customers with, yeah, you're welcome to come on in. I ain't wearing a mask and I'm not going to. You do what's comfortable for you.
Sure.
And when the health department shows up to try and correct that, they'll get informed that they're on private property and they need to leave. And we'll see where the chips may fall.
Wow.
And
yeah, I think the whole issue is just a distraction, really, and it's a division tool, really. The masks are not really the important issue here. Like I said, I think what's happening, all this deception behind the scenes and all that, and that's what we really need to focus instead of getting worked up about the masks. And I think, yes, people should be able to choose what they believe is right for them, especially if there's no statistical proof that those masks are effective. I mean, like you said, we should be working on statistics and proven facts, but there are none. So it's all opinion anyway.
Yeah. Well, I it's just almost every day, no matter what the situation is. Look, we're mature adults here. We can make our own decision of whether or not we want to wear a mask wherever we want to wear it. And it's fine if there are people that are scared to death out there. It's fine. Be scared to death and wear your stinking mask. Okay? I'm not. So, Daryl, thank you. Leonard, thank you very much, brother. That was very good. Once again, I did have that scripture on my list. I had that discourse in there and left it out. But your point, it fits exactly. So, brother Daryl, I know you're tired, brother. We're at the end of this whole thing here, so I'm gonna let you have the last word, believe it or not, and it's yours. I respect what you have to say.
Well, thank you. back in around 1980, Kerry Livgren, who is the lead guitarist and
For Kansas. Thought you were going to stump me, did you?
Nope. I figured you would probably know who that is.
Yeah,
So he got saved right around.
I had his music, brother. I had all of it.
And he did a couple of solo albums, and on one of them, compilation album, and he had Ronnie James Dio of Black Sabbath, Rainbow, do a couple of songs. And one of the songs that he had Dio sing, which was one of the most amazing songs that I've ever heard, is The Mask of the Great Deceiver.
I remember it so well.
Yeah. If you saw the movie Eyes Wide Shut, I think it was Stanley Kubrick who...
I saw it. Bad movie.
Not recommended for family environment.
Bad movie.
I've seen, clips of it and stuff like that. But, I mean, within all of these things, the occult use masks. And masks are an occultic tool in order to hide your identity. And it's an issue of suppression. As Milena was referencing, there are religions in the world that use masks. And I mean, if you've ever walked down the street behind 4 women in burqas, what is your initial sense? It's like, God, please deliver these women because they're in bondage. So are masks against my religion? Yes, because Yeshua came to set us free. And he says, if you are my disciples and you abide by my word, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And what we're being fed here, as Leonard said, is a bunch of lies. I mean, it doesn't matter what the WHO says. It doesn't matter what Fauci says. It doesn't matter what Bill Gates says. You know that they're speaking out of all sides of their mouths. And the statistics change on a daily basis. I mean, who was it who said there's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics? So the whole mask thing it's an issue of suppression. It's an issue of taking away our rights and freedoms. As you say, if you're scared, feel free to wear a mask, but don't force me to do it because, number one, it's uncomfortable. Number two, I don't want to be breathing in my own, my own bacteria and stuff like that and recycling it. And third of all, it's not doing any good. So what's really the issue here? The issue is they're finding out how far we're willing to bend the knee. And, what are we going to do next? Are we going to start wearing the yellow stars again? Because that's where all this is headed.
Really?
It's the same tactics over and over.
It is.
And so, I had a conversation with the pastor regarding masks and social distancing. And we've been talking about us using his facility. And I said, but if I'm going to hold the service there, I said, I'm not wearing masks. I'm not social distancing. And I'm certainly going to be singing. And he said to me, well, this isn't the mark of the beast. And so, when it comes to the vaccine, well, then we'll take our stand. He says, but in essence, we're not going to die on this hill. And I said, if you don't take a stand now, when they come for the vaccine, it's going to be that much harder. See, if we push back now and we kick and we fuss and we fight and we cause holy heaven with these people, they're going to back down. That couple in St. Louis that had the Black Lives Matter folk show up on their doorstep as peaceful protesters, ha, 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 and they whipped out their guns. You saw how fast those chickens dispersed. Because the enemy backs down when truth is proclaimed boldly, because he can't stand in the face of it. Truth will set us free. So this whole mask thing, it is absolutely against our religion because it's a matter of suppression, and Yeshua came to deliver me out of bondage.
Excellent, brother. Very, very true. Very good way to look at it. I like it. Well said. All right. I like it. Okay. Well, Leonard has brought himself to a place where he can plug in, I think. All right. Very good on everybody. Thanks for, yes, thank you, Leonard. Thank you.
My
so
mask
much,
is just about as effective as that, and looks every bit as sexy as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right, exactly. Well, we're gonna call it a night, and it's been good. It's always good to me. I learn so much on these different things. I think discussion shows rule the world, man. We solve all the problems of the world on these discussion shows. So
we are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.